Hello there, my name is Lisbon Plays. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today we're doing our first video for the Turtwig Draft League. The Turtwig Draft League is a low-tier draft league, meaning that most Pokemon from higher tiers competitively are not in the draft. There are 14 other teams battling it out every week to make it to the championships. So if you are interested in watching this draft league, hit the subscribe button, because we will be battling another team every week. In addition, only our Tier 5 Pokemon can Terra. You can see here all the teams we are competing with. We are the Roaring Rattatas, and we're going for the gold. As coach of the Roaring Rattatas, I'm going to be showing you our roster picks and why I chose the Pokemon I did. Then, next week, we're going to have our first battle, so make sure to stay tuned for that. For our Tier 1 pick and first pick of the draft league, I chose Suicune. I didn't know going into the draft exactly what team I was looking to create, and Suicune is just a great general pick for multiple types of teams. They have a versatile moveset, and on top of that, their stats are amazing. They are very bulky, meaning they can survive a lot of attacks and deal out a lot of damage. They have powerful stab moves like Scald, which will allow us to also have a burn opportunity, and they're a great start to a Fire, Water, Grass core. Overall, a strong leading pick for our team. For our first Tier 2 pick and our second pick overall, I chose Armarouge. Armarouge is a very strong special attacker, and with its weak armor, combined with weakness policy, it only gets even stronger after taking its first super effective hit. Its fire type also works well with Suicune, allowing us to easily build a Fire, Water, Grass core, and on top of that, it works well in multiple terrains. This will come into use later in the draft. For a second pick out of Tier 2, I chose Hawlucha. Hawlucha has the ability Guts, which doubles its speed when it's not holding an item. It also has the move Acrobatics, which has double power when the user is not holding an item. These two work very well together. It can hold a white herb to quickly get rid of its item while also still having the value of an item. However, it can also use different seeds, which will activate immediately upon entry into any terrain. This is yet another reason for one of my Tier 4 picks, which sets terrain. It makes both of our Tier 2 picks far more versatile and powerful. Our first pick of Tier 3 was Whimsicott. It completes our Fire, Water, Grass core while also giving us a Fairy type to work with. Not only are they a good special sweeper, they also have access to Sunspore, which will help set back our opponents. Not much else to say on this mon. I'm excited to see what she can do for our team. Our next pick for Tier 3 is Mesprit, and they're very useful. They get Light Screen and Reflect, so they're very good for setting screens. They also have Stealth Rock, so they're great for setting hazards, and they have U-Turn to easily get out of combat. My final pick of Tier 3 was Galarian Weezing, and this is a terrain setter, though I do not imagine them being my main one. However, I needed a poison Pokemon on my team, and having multiple types of terrain makes my team a lot more unpredictable. Our first Tier 4 pick is going to be our main terrain setter, and that is Thwackey. Thwackey is going to be a core of our team. His grassy terrain is very helpful to most of our mons, providing free leftovers to all, which is especially helpful for our bulky mons. It also helps Armarouge, as it takes less damage from Earthquake. The halved power of Earthquake makes up for the weakness we have to ground, but it does not take away the weakness, meaning it still activates weak armor. Armarouge can also get Energy Ball, a powerful grass move that's boosted by grassy terrain. It also allows Hawlucha the option to hold a seed to instantly use its item. Though he won't rack up kills, I believe that Thwackey might be one of the best mons on our roster. Our next Tier 4 pick is Fortress. I took this pick for 3 reasons. The first is that he's a Spikes and Stealth Rock setter, making him very useful for setting hazards. The second reason is that he learns Rapid Spin, which can get rid of hazards on our side. And the third reason is that he's a Steel type, something my team was lacking prior to taking him. Our final Tier 4 pick is Tauros, the Cantonian form. This is because we're lacking a lot of physical attackers and very special attack heavy. Having Tauros will allow us to access a lot of strong physical attacks with his strong attack stat and decent speed. Now, we're moving on to Tier 5. This is where we have our 2 Terra leads. These are the 2 Pokemon on our team that can Terra. They can only Terra to 3 types, which we can choose to trade throughout the season, but we only get 5 trades total, including those with Pokemon. So we have to think carefully about where we spend these. Our first Tier 5 Terra lead is Morpeko. We finally got an electric type. For Morpeko, I chose Dark, Ice, and Flying Terra types. This gives us stab on dark moves with the first, and the other two change our weaknesses and resistances drastically. Morpeko is a strong physical attacker who can be unpredictably good in lower tiered leagues. I'm very excited to get him on my team. Our other Terra lead and the final member of our roster is Altaria. I gave Altaria Dragon, Steel, and Ground as their Terra types. Pokemon are required to have one Terra of a type they have, hence the Dragon Terra, though it could still be useful. What I'm most excited about is the Steel Terra, given that Steel completely changes up its weaknesses and allows for a free heal. I chose Ground as my final Terra type to mitigate any electric attacks. Overall, I think the drafts went very well. Next week, we'll be having our first match against Bug Scuffle, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye!